7:17 p.m., November 20, and I just finished Act 1 of Draft 1 of Project Eclipse, which is my cyberpunk novel. This is really exciting. I did start this draft about 2 months ago, and I'm gonna try to get it finished in the next month and a half. Well, it's over half, but I want to get it done by the end of the year. The manuscript is now at 30,000 words, and this is really exciting because it is now officially the longest manuscript I've ever written. Because the last time I tried to write a book, I only got up to 26,000 words. So this is officially the longest manuscript, and it's also kind of nice to know that this is definitely going to be the book I'm going to finish. So, hitting this milestone, it may seem small, but I'm really excited that I finished an entire act, and I'm proud of the act. I'm really proud of everything I've written. Well, not how I've written it, but I'm proud of the story so far. I think it's going really well. So this is really, really exciting. I don't know if this will be my debut novel or not, but it's so crazy to think that this is going to be the first novel I actually finish. So yeah.
So this is a little awkward. You know what's bad? When I literally had to make a list of things that I have to update you guys on. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Emily. I'm a writer, and I have been documenting my writing journey on YouTube for 6 months now, I believe, and I haven't uploaded a video in almost a month. I did, okay. Technically, I uploaded a video 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't my normal writing vlogs. If you didn't go watch it, you should watch it because I had a lot of fun making it, and I'd always wanted to make a video like that, and I did. And it really did help me kind of get in the right headspace because ever since then, I have honestly been writing like crazy. So I think it is healthy for me to take breaks from my different social media platforms here and there because I've been super consistent on my Instagram while not being consistent on here. So I'm hoping to be able to learn to balance both of them, that I can be consistent on there and here. Anyways, if you're not new here, hi, thank you for coming back. I do apologize for the absence and inconsistencies. I have a lot to catch you up on, so I would suggest this is where you go get a drink or some yarn to knit or crochet or something because we have a lot to talk about. First up, as you just saw, I have finished Act 1 of my cyberpunk novel, which is very exciting. It may seem like a small accomplishment, but I am trying to learn to celebrate the small things because you should celebrate everything and just being more optimistic about this whole long, excruciating journey. The reason that this is very exciting for me is my manuscript after all of Act 1 is now standing at 30,600 words, which means it is officially the longest manuscript I have ever written. And technically this is the first book I'm writing. It's not the first time I've attempted to write a book, but I don't really call that other manuscript a book because it was 26,000 words of a mess of words. One day I'll go back and fix it, but today is not that day and not anytime soon. Anyways, I have mixed feelings about it, to be honest, because 30,000 words for Act 1 I think is a good amount of words. But my problem is this summer I had to restart this book. If you didn't know, it's a long story. If you want to know, I'll tag the video. But I re-outlined the entire book this summer, and that outline, I kind of called it my zero draft, but I don't think I can really call it that anymore, and I'll explain that in a minute. But that document was 16,000 words, and I basically down each chapter in bullet points. And that outline, I did not realize until I looked back the other day, somehow I had forgotten, that outline was for 65 chapters. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I do know what I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be a book with short chapters and a lot of chapters. Like the Shatter Me series, I know those books usually have between 60 and 70 chapters, but the chapters are very short. And I have been writing chapters between 3,000 and 4,000 words. And if I continue to do that for all 65 chapters, we're gonna have almost a 200,000 word manuscript. And that's not what I'm going for at all. It's so funny to me because I used to call myself a chronic underwriter, and it's like I've completely transformed into an overwriter now. But I think that's also because in this first act, the chapters have been 2 and 3 scenes, and I looked further in the outline, most of the other chapters are either 1 scene or 2 scenes, mainly 1 scenes. So I think it should be fine. But I was watching this author tuber that I love. Her channel is called Amelia is Writing. I love her channel. If you don't watch her, please go watch her. She is so motivational. She was talking about how her draft feels like a mixture of a draft 1 and a draft 0 because her first few chapters were super polished and then it just got choppier as she went along. And I have never related to anything more in my life because I feel the first, I would say 5 chapters of my manuscript are really solid and really good, but that's when I was starting to feel a little hesitant, I believe, and especially the last 5 chapters I've written have been written basically like a draft zero in short sentences, and I've basically thrown my prose out the window because I've like lost my writing style and it just, the writing is very choppy, but I'm telling myself that I just need to get and I can edit it, I can fix it later. Because one of the things that's very prevalent in my book is body language is a big thing. Especially with the dynamic between my 2 main characters, their body language does more than they speak. And I want to focus on that a lot. But with how I've been writing, that's not how it's going because I'm not really focusing on that. I am really focusing just on what they're doing and what they're saying. So I know I'm going to need to go back and fix all of that. I'm honestly thinking that draft 2 is probably going to have to be an entire rewrite, which sounds wearying to think about, but it will just have to depend. Well, no, it won't. I'm gonna have to rewrite all of it. I'm just trying to get the first draft done. So, because also a big thing within my book, if you watched previous vlogs, I know I talked about this in the Q&A section. A big part of this book is the theme of vulnerability and emotional intimacy, and obviously for me to write that in the way I want to, I know exactly how I want it to sound, but I just kind of need to find those words, and I'm not gonna do that in the first draft. I just need to need to get the story down because there's still a lot of scenes where technically I know what's going to happen because I have my outline, but if you're a writer, you'll understand that just because you write something down doesn't mean that's how it's actually going to go. What else was I going to say? All of that to say, the goal is I want this first draft done by the end of the year. Today it is November 23rd. Is that a very steep goal? Yes, it is. But I fear that if I don't get this book done sooner than later, and by sooner than later, I mean in the next month and 7 days, it's probably not going to get finished. So, or it will, but I just want to finish it. I want to give myself a steep goal because I work very well under pressure and that this is the perfect opportunity for me to take. So I've been trying to write a minimum of 2,000 words a day. It's been going okay. I haven't been reaching that, but I've been writing for more consistently, like almost every day. So now I'm just trying to amp it up by saying I need to have this certain word goal by every day. And like I said, we're at 30,000 words now, and I thought this manuscript was going to be between 85 and 90,000 words, but honestly, I think it might be between 90 and 100,000 words. I don't really know, but I do have a feeling that the second act is going to be choppy. I think the whole book is going to be choppy, but my problem is my 2 main characters, Kai and Vess. Kai is an enforcer and Vess is just a commoner. They form an alliance to work together for a goal. They have to get to a certain point of being able to just trust each other in order to work together. And I know how they interact once they trust each other, but I was having a really hard time of how they're going to interact before they even know each other. So that part of the book is super choppy, which is the part I've already written. But I think now starting Act 2, where they have agreed to start working together and they're getting to know each other more, I think that'll be easier for me to write because those are the scenes that I have imagined in my head for months. And I know their dynamic and everything because I know the middle of the book version of them more than the end or the beginning, if that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. But I think that's why I'm going to be able to fly through the middle of this book within the next couple weeks, because this is the part of the book that I have thought about the most. And even though I don't really have because I have my outline. The point is, I just think the middle of this book will be the easiest, hopefully. I feel like I'm gonna regret saying that, but just because, like I said, I've daydreamed about it the most and thought about it the most, and this is where I got the story from. So yeah, I know that was a really long update, but I just needed to get all of that out so you guys know where we're at. I'm gonna do a writing session and see how that will go, and next time you probably hear from me will either be tonight or tomorrow. But without further ado, let's get into some writing. intermission, everyone, I got a new book idea. I watched the movie Ben-Hur with my mother yesterday, and I had been thinking about it, and it gave me ideas, and I have my idea. So I'm gonna go make a Pinterest page, and then we'll continue writing. I don't know if you guys have actually seen this green chair before, but welcome to another corner of my room that you probably don't see as often. I just got back from the library. I was there for about 2.5 hours, and I attempted to write for 2 of those hours. And we did get 1,000 words, but it was really choppy, guys. But that's okay. Like I said in the beginning, I'm trying to write minimum 2,000 words a day, because if I'm going to get this draft done by the end of December, then I need to really be writing a lot and getting the word count in. So the only way that I'm successfully doing that so far is through multiple writing sprints throughout the day. And I have been doing, my rule has kind of been a writing sprint before noon, afternoon, and in the evening. So this morning I did a writing sprint before I left for the library, and I did 30 minutes and I got 600 words. And at the library, I think I only technically did do 2 sprints because I was just so discouraged at one point. I was like, what am I doing? And I was just staring at my screen, which obviously was not helpful. But we got 1,000 words then. So we have 1,600 words today so far. And then I can totally write 400 more words, but I want to maybe try to get another 1,000 in this evening, because even though it's dark outside, it's only 4:45. I have a love-hate relationship with daylight savings. I love evenings, but I like the sunshine. So we won't even get into that right now. That's kind of an update of how things are going. I'm at a really exciting part in the draft that I'm really excited to write about. So that's what's making me want to write even more today, because usually if I've written up to 1,500 words in a day, I kind of feel burnt out, but I really don't right now. Even though, like I said, it was kind of a bad writing session, it's just complicated. The thing about writing is if you're writing every day, it is inevitable you're going to have bad days. And I'm just telling myself that. But I'm at the part in the book where I have 4 cities in, I guess I didn't introduce my book. I'm writing a cyberpunk novel that follows 2 main characters, Kai and Bess. Kai's an enforcer, Bess is a random girl, and they start working together. I know I say this in like the most simplified way, but it's just so you have an idea. So this is just a little easier to understand. So there's 4 main cities, and there's an undercity that's under all of them. kind of like the Undercity from Arcane for reference. Kai did not know this Undercity existed, and Vess is introducing him to this Undercity. And I love putting new settings in books. I love describing new settings, even though the description has been very, very choppy so far. But it's also because I'm not 100% sure about oh my goodness. I'm not 100% sure about a few things, but that's also fine because I'm on my first draft. So it's just exciting to read. I mean, can I talk? Can I please talk? It is exciting to write. I just realized it is raining outside, so that is very nice. I also I want to show you guys something. Hold on. This is not sponsored or anything, but I love to support my small businesses, and I love this tote bag, guys. It is by the Tote Library. They have these beautiful, like, artsy tote bags, and my favorite part is, look, it's on the side as well. Ignore how I'm holding it. I literally have it filled to the rim right now, but I was really needing a new tote bag, and then she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be sent one, and I was like, of course. I love this thing. I literally love it. It's so nice because as somebody that loses my keys in a tote bag, it literally has a hook for you to connect your keys to. It has like an extra pocket, and it has a water bottle holder on the inside so you don't lose your water or spill it everywhere. So that's great. And then I do have 2 other things that I kind of want to show you guys. I do have another thing from a small business that I have it put away right now, but I'll insert a picture of it. It's this hand-drawn journal by Coco and Lynn, and it's gorgeous. You guys should go check them out if you're looking. I'm also doing this to give you guys gift ideas because we should support small businesses more, and Christmas is coming up, so trust me, these would be perfect gifts for yourself to put on your list or for a crafty friend that you know. And lastly, once again, this is not sponsored, but I just wanted to tell you guys because I'm excited about all of this. Those book nook kits that you can build. I have built some before, but I was sent one by the company Anavrin. It's amazing. I'll insert a video of it. Guys, it is literally gorgeous. I had so much fun making it, and what I love about it is that each design is inspired by a real place. Like the one that I specifically got the cyberpunk one to match with Vess and Kai, and it was so sweet because people were responding to my story and saying, "Oh my gosh, it looks exactly like your project." And that literally warmed my heart so much. So that was so cute. I'll insert a clip of it, what it looks like right now, because since it's darker, the lights look so pretty. I'm looking at it over at my bookshelf. It looks so pretty. Since we haven't vlogged in a while, I haven't been able to talk about like my Instagram to you guys. It's been going so well. I've been posting super consistently. Like I said, I've been consistent on there, but not here. And I think we're up to like 37,000 right now, which is insane. When a couple months ago we were still stuck, I was stuck at like 15,000. And I don't want to say stuck because that was a small number. That's not a small number. I'm very thankful. But it's just so nice to have my community and everything. I love all of you so much. It's so much fun to share my creative life with you guys. But gonna be more active on here, I promise. Anyways, I'm also currently reading Twilight, and that's an interesting topic that we will talk about later. But I'm gonna go read, and then we're gonna write more and see how many words we can get in. So yeah, sorry, this was kind of long talking again, and I feel guilty for talking too much on my channel sometimes, but also it is my channel and you come here to listen to me. And I have to tell myself that over and over again when I feel like I've been talking too much. So I'm gonna shut up now, and we're gonna go read and write. I'm gonna try to say this while staying as calm as possible. I just lost 600 words. That writing sprint I told you that I did this morning, I opened my document and it was not there. I know it's my fault because I use Scrivener, and I know the way I have my files right now are weird. So I know it's my fault, but it's still annoying. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember. Like, I remember what I wrote, but I don't remember how I wrote it. So got 2,000 words in for today, which is amazing. I'm going to try to stay positive because, as you saw, I almost like had a full-on crash out earlier because I lost 600 words, but then I just dug in my files for half an hour and I did find them. So we're all good. I have all of my 2,000 words that I wrote today in the document saved. Everything is safe. I also did end up finishing Twilight before writing. I'm not really a fan, guys. I hate saying that because I know a lot of people love it, but I think it's 100% a me problem. I don't really like vampire stuff. I thought I would, but I honestly don't. I feel like I'm dressed very Twilight today with the red and black, but it just really wasn't my vibe. I do have a new book that I'm gonna start tonight though that I'm excited about. It's called Art Thief. It is a true crime book, and I think I'm really gonna like it. I haven't read a true crime book in a while, and it's one of my favorite genres. So that's going to be fun to get back into doing that. Overall, it was a good writing day. It wasn't the best. I did have a hard time, as I told you in the library, but that's the thing about writing. You're going to have good days and bad days. Hopefully tomorrow's a good day. But even if not, that's okay too. I am going to aim to write 2,100 words tomorrow, I think maybe. I want to be very positive because I don't have anything to do for the rest of the week. Oh, wait, no. I have to call my teacher tomorrow. Okay, well, that's not going to take too long. But I do have schoolwork to do, which is always, I've kind of been prioritizing my writing over my schoolwork lately a little bit, which I usually never do, but I really gotta get this book done. So yeah, that's the current state of how everything is going. I will give you guys an update tomorrow on how things are going, and hopefully we can be just as productive, if not more. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye. So it is currently 4 p.m. and I did a sprint this morning and I got 500 words in, but the next 2 hours I need to lock in and get another 1,500 words in because I'm not going to write anymore today because it is November 26th, meaning that volume 1 of Stranger Things season 5 comes out, and I will be downstairs watching every single episode because I'm the definition of a binge watcher and I need to know what happens, and I've been on edge all day about it. So because let me tell you, I won't chat too much about it because it's off topic, but you guys know how I feel about love triangles, so I'll call it a love fork. But the whole thing between Nancy and Steve and Jonathan, I've never felt so conflicted about a love triangle, a love fork before, because I genuinely don't know who I want her to end up with. I mean, the best option would be Robin, but still, I genuinely have no idea who I want her to end up with. But that's also kind of on the back burner because I'm just honestly very intrigued to see how the plot is going to play out, and I'm very excited. But enough about that. I'm going to do, I think, a 45-minute sprint. I don't know if you can call that a sprint, but I'm gonna set my timer for 45 minutes and see where that gets us, and then I'll take a break, and then we'll do another 45-minute sprint, and then I'll just be editing because I haven't started editing this video and I already have like 2.5 days of footage, so I don't want to get too behind. I have my matcha that I've already drunk half of. It tastes amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna open my document and we're gonna get started on our first sprint. So I will see you in 45 minutes. I probably won't update you. I'll probably update you at the end to see how far we get. But also, guys, I started reading. I got about 30 pages before I went to sleep. I really, really like this book. I really, really like this book. I love just the prose of it is so entertaining. And I have a feeling I'm going to fly through this book. I really, really like it. So I'm going to read some of this during my break, I think. All right. Oh, I just hit my lamp. Okay. I will see you in a little bit. together. So it's actually Monday because yesterday, Sunday, I got distracted, but in a good way because I was extremely productive yesterday and I just didn't want to interrupt that flow by filming because sometimes I'm just not in the mood to film and I never force myself to film if I don't want to, if that makes sense. I originally was going to have this day of writing in this vlog, but I have a feeling this vlog is already long, so I'm going to put it in the next vlog. So the vlog right after this one is going to be the same day, so you'll probably see it in this exact angle. I realized I didn't talk about any other hobby in this vlog, and even though my channel is a writing channel, I do want to incorporate my other hobbies more often. So I wanted to show you guys, I did a watercolor portrait yesterday, and I never paint people because that is extremely intimidating to me, and it's not a regular portrait, it's more of like an artistic statue in a way. I'll put the inspo picture up here for you to see. It's not, I'm proud of it. I'm not the most proud of it. I really do like how the ear and the nose turned out, but the eye and the mouth I think is what's a little awkward. You'll notice the painting beside it is the jellyfish, and if you follow me on Instagram then you'll see me paint both of these because I have two rails up if you're intrigued. But this is the portrait. So I showed it to my mom and she said that she really liked the colors. So I really do actually like the colors of the green, different greens. So I did have fun painting this. I had a lot of fun and it actually didn't take that long, but I'm just wanting to experiment more with my watercolor. And I really want to get good at portraits. It's just I have to learn more about color theory. That's kind of something, I'm not educated in that at all, but I want to be. So anyways, that was our little other hobby segment for this vlog. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog, or this week's vlog, and I hope your writing is going well. I know a lot of people participated in NaNoWriMo. If you did, props to you. Personally did not. Maybe I will next year, maybe 1 year I'll complete it. But honestly, I think December is kind of going to be my version of NaNoWriMo because I'm going to be writing a lot of words. I don't know how much exactly, but I guess we'll see how that goes. Anyways, like I said, thank you so much for watching, and if you made it all the way to the end, I want you to leave a star emoji. And I also wanted to say that I never talk about it on this channel, but I also have an Etsy shop if you guys want to check it out. I sell templates for writers that I have made, and I use these myself. They're very helpful, very simple. But yeah, if you want to support me there, that'd be great. I will have the code to the Anna Brandon miniature book nooks in the description if you guys would like to get one for yourself or for someone else this holiday season. Okay, all of that said, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!